Dude, I've done it!
What?
Yeah, you know, like that one time when I had this watch make me like a lot tinier?
Oh, this video.
I've done the opposite.
What do you mean?
I can become a giant!
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it right now, so if you wanna follow, I'll be outside. Okay, bye!
Yeah, sure.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Ignace and welcome to the CreatorGalaxy.com space station. In today's video, I will be showing you how to become a giant in Adobe After Effects and also in Adobe Premiere Pro. So we will be seeing one easy way to do it and then one harder way to do it, a little bit more advanced. So we're gonna see both this shot and this shot. So we're gonna start off with the easiest one in Premiere Pro, and literally everyone can do it, even you. You there, right there. You can do it. Anyway, if you want to follow along with this tutorial using the exact same footage as me, like always, you can download those tutorials file. You can always, like always, download the tutorial files with the link in the description below. Ding! Alright, so here we are in Adobe Premiere Pro, and this is the footage that I have imported, which you can download with link in the description below. So as you can see, we recorded this on quite a low angle, and we filmed ourselves looking like we would be behind these houses, but we're actually in front of them. It's like a really old effect. It's like forced perspective where you can kind of have like a big guy and a small guy, but actually they're just standing further apart from each other. You can all do these tricks with your camera. So in this case, all we want to do is put these houses in front of us. Another really important thing is when you become a giant, everything actually becomes slower. If you look at movies with like these titans, you will see that the movement the titans or the giants make are a lot slower than our actual movements. So what I've done with this shot is I recorded this shot in 60 frames per second. 60 frames per second, we can take it down until 30 frames per second. So I'm going to right click and go to modify and interpret my footage. And as you can see right here, we have 59.9401. We can just assume this frame rate and set it to like 30 and then click OK. And then we can drag this into a new composition right here. So right here, if you look, you'll see that we're walking very slowly, and that looks realistic in the giant world, which you can verify because there are no giants as far as we know. Okay, so what we will do is, first of all, I'm going to Alt and drag, or actually I'm going to Alt click on my audio. We don't want audio. I just want my video layer, and I'm going to Alt drag it on top of my video layer. So now we have video 1 and video 2. In the video 1, I want to right click, or actually move to the position where I'm off screen. Right here, right click and go to frame, hold options, source time code, and click OK. So now we have a frozen frame here. Next, we want to select these two layers and bring them up one layer, and click on your frozen layer, hold Alt and drag it on the bottom here. So we have one frozen layer, one active layer, and one frozen layer again. On the top frozen layer, we want to go to Effects, and we want to search for Extract. Apply the extract to that video. And I already played a little bit with the effects here. So 10 and 165 or 160 or 170 works here. Apparently my settings don't work anymore, so we're gonna play a little bit more with them. And then we want to invert this. Then we want to go to this video layer and we want to search for matte. We're going to choose our track matte and apply that to the middle video layer here. And for the matte, we want to choose that top layer that we just applied this effect to. So we're going to choose video 3. And then we want to set the composite using the Luma matte. So matte Luma. And there we go. So we're already behind our houses. So actually what this does, if we solo or actually just disable the background, you'll see that it's going to look at the white parts and it's just going to show whatever is in the white parts. And then we enable our background again, just to get the foreground here again. And then if we play, it will look like we're behind these houses. Of course, we do have a little bit of problems here with the trash because it's also white and the extract didn't do a perfect job. You could also just go ahead and mask out your houses if you don't have a white sky. This was just the best solution for this kind of footage. So to fix this, all I'm going to do is select my video layer here, and I'm going to head over to the opacity, click here to the 4-point polygon, and I'm just going to drag that on top of my trash and then just invert it, and that should solve the problem here. Alright, so that's the effect for Premiere Pro. It's super simple. Now we're going to head over into Adobe After Effects. It's going to be a little bit more tricky, but it's a really cool effect, as you can see. And before we start with that tutorial, I want to quickly mention today's video sponsor, which is CreatorGalaxy.com. CreatorGalaxy.com is a one-stop shop for any digital creator. And if you want to create epic videos, or if you want to have a better workflow and you want to speed it up, or you just want to use professional grade templates and presets and packs, you definitely got to check out CreatorGalaxy.com. Yeah, you there, right there. If you want to create epic videos, you want to check out CreatorGalaxy.com. Link is in the description below, and let's continue with the tutorial. So for the After Effects tutorial, I have these two files. I'm going to import them in Adobe After Effects. The first thing that I want to do is import the 04 into a new composition. And I'm going to already duplicate it. So I'm going to click on my video, edit, duplicate it, right click, time, and freeze this frame.
Whoa, our office looks so small. And Ignace, you look so small too. I see you're working on the tutorial, but it's okay. Just add Creator Galaxy in there. Yeah, make sure they know it's like the best website. So why wouldn't you? Yeah, okay. I'll be off again.
For now, we can uncheck this and bring it on the bottom. Now we're going to scrub through the video. So I run in this video explaining what's going to happen or just showing what's going to happen. And then boom, I explode like right here into a giant. So right here, I'm going to trim my video like that. Boom. So if we're going to enable our frozen frame again, we're going to have a background right here. Now the idea is to have like the last frame of myself, to key it out very roughly, and then we're going to scale it up over a few frames, and then we want to see a huge giant in our shot. So before we do that, I actually want to import my giant shot, which is at 0.3. We're going to bring that into our composition, and then I want to go here over to the beginning, like right before we pan up. And actually, I want to right click, time, and freeze this frame, because we're going to kind of stack up every kind of tilt that we do on the tripod, just so we can work with the camera inside of Adobe After Effects and have a lot more control on the movement that we want to do on our shot. You can do it with a motion controlled camera, but we don't have that, so this is a way to do it without. So right here, what I will do is quickly rotoscope my shoes out. And then right here, I'm just going to make a rough mask and then close it. There we go. We have our first leg. First leg.
By the way, comment of today from Moses Arise. Lots of pasta, always making a difference.
What does he mean?
Lots of pasta,
always
making a difference.
Lots of pasta. Lots of pasta. Pasta? How do you say pasta? Lots of pasta, always making a difference. And that's on a video with pasta? Pasta?
No,
I don't have a video with pasta.
Zoom video.
Okay. What do you mean with that? Let me know on this video. I have no idea. So for the second leg here, I'm just going to import or actually duplicate my video footage. Press M on the keyboard, remove this mask, and just start over the procedure again, but on this side. All right, so here we have our second foot, and then we want to click here on these two, and then just make sure that like they are positioned kind of in our shot like this. So we press, we're actually going to move them over just to the point to where I stop, and then 1, 2, 3 frames, and we have the giant legs. Okay. So now we have this as some kind of reference to grow ourselves right here. So what I will do is go to the last frame, duplicate it with Control D, and then right click, time, and freeze this frame, and then just shift it over 3 frames and trim it. So if we zoom in here, we just have like an overlap of 3 frames where I'm standing still. And here I do want to go to my pen tool as well and just really roughly mask myself out. What's your favorite pasta? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, there we go. And then one thing I want to do is go like 1 frame backwards, press P and S on the keyboard and make a stopwatch. Or actually, before we do that, we want to go over here and the pen behind tool, we want to move our anchor point towards the center between our feet. So we are going to scale from here. So then 1 frame backwards, we're going to make 2 keyframes. And then all the way till the end. Actually, we're gonna make it 1 frame longer here. Press S on the keyboard and scale it up quite a bit until we kind of fit this, and then reposition it and then trim it here. So that way we have like the size up immediately starting, really having a big impact here. And then we want to enable the motion blur for this layer. And then over these 3 layers, we just have this super quickly. Boom. Okay. So we're going to close everything here. And now we want to concentrate on the next part. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to create everything into a 3D layer. And then we want to right click new and create a new camera. Click OK. And here we want to press R on the keyboard. And if you rotate the X, you will see that everything is staying on its location because we just created everything in 3D. So we're going to import our O3 layer again. And here we want to just put it below the camera. Find a position where we're kind of panning up. Right until here, I think, is a good position to go over. So you want to look at reference, like for example, here we have the knees. So we can kind of start around the knees here. And then we want to mask out this entire part, maybe until my waist. So we're going to make a mask just like that. And then I want to right click, time, and freeze this frame. And then also make it a 3D layer and parent it to the camera. And then rotate the camera up just until we have like the knees towards the bottom of our frame. And then we want to click on this new video that we created and scale it up, press S, just to make it fit the size of our pants here. And then reposition it. We can press T on the keyboard, lower the opacity, maybe so we can look at reference of the pants here. And by the way, if you recreated this effect, you can always tag me on Instagram, so maybe I'll get to see what you can come up with. And then obviously we can press F on the keyboard and kind of feather it 25 pixels. So we have a little bit of a feather on there. Press T on the keyboard and set it back to 100%. And now we will see if we are going to unparent it from the camera. We can now rotate it and it's going to be an extended part of our leg. So that's how we are going to build like this kind of motion control with just frozen parts of our body and then just kind of stitching them together again. So we do see that right here. We actually have to bring this up a little bit. And there we go. So now we have a seamless transition. Great. Next, we want to kind of rotate up a little bit more. And we want to import our video again. And actually, we're already there. So the next part, we just want to use everything else except our pants. So I'm just going to use my pen tool and kind of make a mask like this. And there we go. And for this again, we're not going to make a frozen layer for this part because I'm actually moving. So what we'll do is also make this a 3D layer, also parent it to the camera and reposition it where needed. And actually the right video. So that's this one right over here. And we do want to scale it up as well. So press S on the keyboard, scale it up and try to put it back into position. And we're going to see again if we're going to bring this below our camera, and then we move the camera we have a little problem. That's because it's parented to the camera. So we want to unparent again. And then if we move, we can now see that we have that transition. So that's really cool. And it's looking great. So awesome. Next, we want to uncheck everything that has to do with myself. And we just want the 04 videos to be visible. So I'm going to reset the camera. We're getting pretty big. So we're going to zoom out. Maybe I just want to enable this one, just so we see where it kind of ends. We want to end around like 13 degrees. I think that's a good position to end. And if you do this effect wrong, you will get like this result. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Ignace, and today I will be showing you...
Whoa.
I'm going to uncheck this. And I'm just going to duplicate or just import my 04 layer again. And bring it right here. And also here we did a little pan, as you can see, towards the end of the video, I panned up. Maybe like right here, right click, time, and freeze this frame. And also make this a 3D layer. If we uncheck that, we want to see this view. So I'm going to zoom up. And we have here like the end of the roofs. So I'm going to enable, and actually if you just rename everything like top view background, you can also color code it to see it a little bit easier. We want to enable this one again and then bring it up, and also parent this to our camera. Maybe scale it down a little bit like that. And we also just want to kind of mask out the bottom part here. Press F on the keyboard, subtract it 25 pixels. And try to position it back into your shot. Something like that looks okay. And if we unparent it from the camera now, we can see that's also working fine. Great. We can duplicate it once more. And with the mask, I'm just going to choose like the top part here. So we only have that sky. And I'm just going to scale up the sky just so we... yeah, this time we're going to set the mask to additive, scale up the sky here. And like that, if you rotate our camera a little bit, like to 13, we want to make sure that it's filling our entire shot. Okay, great. So we're going to reset it to 0, enable all our layers again. And you can quickly color code. So these are all of the shots that have to do with the character, and these are all, or actually the background shots. So these are going to be yellow. I get spawned like right here. So I'm just going to trim all these video layers until the start of where I get spawned as a giant. And then with the camera, I want to press R on the keyboard, click on the stopwatch for the X rotation, move a little bit in time, and then set it to 13 degrees. And the reason that you might have like errors here is just because the background here, you have to make sure that if you press P on the keyboard, it's set to 0, and that will solve the problem here. Okay. All right, so we're almost there. All we have to do now is clean up our shot a little bit. Just like you can clean up your videos with creatorgalaxy.com. Check it out with the link in the description below. It's really cool, really affordable, and it will definitely increase the production quality of anything you make. Like for example, this logo reveal, it's one of the recent products we added to the website, and it's actually one of my favorites. Well, I kind of made it, but... All right, so let's finish off our video. And actually, there's not much to do here. All we have to do is go to Effect, Keying, add the keyline effect, set it to a screen matte, or actually before we do that, final result, choose the screen color, of course, then set it to a screen matte. And it's already a very nice green just because we're filming outside. We have a natural lighting, so we don't have any shadows. So all we have to do is go to in the screen matte, like set the black to 15, the white to 85, and maybe the shrink grow to -1.5. And if we're going to set that to a final result, you'll see that this is a pretty clean key. So I like to set my view to intermediate result just to get rid of noise, and then apply a advanced spill suppressor on top of that, and that should solve the key. All you have to do here is select this effect, Control, select this effect, edit and copy. and then go to this, paste it, here also paste it and paste it. So now we get rid of the green screen and we have our grow, the camera rotates up, and we're standing right here in our shot being awesome. I'm also going to extend these shots a little bit more. And like right here is the end, so I'm going to press N on the keyboard and trim the comp to work area, just because here is the end of my video. And now all you want to do is maybe add a little bit of shadows right here under your shoes. So I'm just going to right click new and create a new solid layer. I already picked like a bluish kind of color. I sampled the color from underneath my shoes. So this is kind of the correct shadow color that you want to have. Press OK, OK. And then we want to uncheck this layer, bring this on the bottom here, right between these two. And then with the pen tool, and there we go. And then press F on the keyboard, also enable this layer, maybe set it to like 10 and 10. And then we want to duplicate this layer, press T on the keyboard, set it to maybe 50%, and then press F on the keyboard. And here we want to set it to 50 and 50. And that way you kind of get like a gradient kind of flow of your shadow. So you can play with that a little bit and see what works. So once you're satisfied with your shadows, we want to select the two layers and also trim them to where our giant starts. Also make this a 3D layer. And then lastly, what I did is I imported a kind of dust wave effect just to make a bigger impression on kind of the shock of becoming a giant. So I actually used one of the dust waves from Action VFX right here, which is really cool. They have the best kind of visual effects, real recorded stock footage. I will also put a link in the description below if you might be interested in that. I'm going to bring that into my composition, like right here. And then you just want to put it to like press F on the keyboard, set it to a lighten, and then maybe scale it as well because it's 4K footage. And kind of cut it off here so it has a big impact, so no smoke, and then boom, we have the smoke. A little bit more here. Scale it up. And actually we want to put this on top so it's also covering the front of my feet here. Also make it a 3D layer, toggle the switches if you want to see this view, and set the opacity, press T on the keyboard, do something like 20%, and that should make it look a little bit better. And then at the very end, once you're satisfied with your entire look, what you want to do is enable motion blur for all the layers. And now when you move up, you're going to see the motion blur, which is going to kind of blend everything well together. And then once you rendered your entire video and you bring it in Adobe Premiere Pro, what you can also do is apply our screen shake effect, which is available on creatorgalaxy.com. So I already had this video footage. Let me quickly import that right here. And I just dragged it into a new sequence. And under effects, we have presets. And then we have the camera shake preset, the medium shake, and maybe a medium or establishing shot. Let's go for a medium shot. And I applied that right here, and immediately it doesn't look like we filmed this on a tripod. It looks like it's actually being filmed handheld, and everything that is filmed handheld looks way more advanced than it actually is. So that's a nice, neat little trick to make your VFX a little bit more advanced and kind of to spice up everything. It's like putting salt after you cooked your potatoes.
Or pasta.
Or pasta, just like that guy. And there we go. So that's looking very, very cool. And of course, if you think your head is kind of cut off here, we can use the transform and apply the transform here and kind of reframe that like right here and just quickly animate it a little bit to make sure it's always in the shot, and that's really cool. Okay, so there we go. That's the tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more, and definitely check out our website. We have a bunch of awesome things to offer. And if you buy something from our website, it also helps to support this channel. And by the way, did you check out our previous video? It's really cool. And yeah, I think you might like it. I will put it here on a video. Take care and see you in the next one. Goodbye.